You're watching Quick Reaction TV. Not a part of the crew? Join now. Hit that subscribe button. I got an interesting selection today. Let's jump in. Quick!
This video is for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research.
Soul was sent here to grow and develop. So if you're not here developing your talent, your skills that they talk about in the Bible, and they talk about in your Quran, then you ain't did the life right, so you gotta keep on coming back. That's what I got, mom. But you don't understand about coming back, is the time don't exist. So everything is happening now. The past, present, and the future is all connected in every move. So you're just gonna die, come back in another body, but it's all happening right now like a long ass dream, but you just don't understand it.
The giant genes still be in our DNA today? Let's get into it. Pause. TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only, so don't ban me. Anyway, on one of my videos, we spoke about the Epic of Gilgamesh and how I feel like Gilgamesh was actually just a Nephilim. And if you aren't familiar with the Book of Enoch, we are delving into that. A Nephilim is basically a giant. Now, these giants came from the fallen angels, aka the Watchers, that came down and procreated with mortal women. And all of them were dealt with the flood of Noah. Fast forward to now, they say that they found the tomb of Gilgamesh. And not for nothing, a lot of sources labeled him as a giant because of how large the body was. Now, I can't speak that as fact because I wasn't there, but I do find it interesting. Let's talk about something else that's interesting. The tomb of Gilgamesh was found under the Euphrates River. Now, the Euphrates River runs through Iraq. When the US invaded Iraq, why do you think the first thing that they did was look for the tomb of Gilgamesh? It had nothing to do with the war or anything like that. They were out here hiring every archaeologist they possibly could to find this body. Why do you think that is? Now, there's a theory that they were looking for his body so that they can try to harvest the Nephilim DNA. And I've heard that quote-unquote theory a lot, so it's definitely giving fact. Now, this tomb was supposedly found in 2003, but nobody knows where his body is, even though the US requested for it to be brought back to the States. And I've heard that it was mentioned in the leaked emails of Hillary Clinton. I don't want to say that because the last time I did, I got banned for misinformation. But anyway, I haven't delved into that completely, so I can't say that that's fact. Now, on the other hand, a lot of people say that this is complete nonsense. It never happened. But I just find it funny that anytime archaeologists find anything that remotely points to the Bible being proven, all of a sudden it's a bunch of nonsense. It never happened. That could just be me being a skeptic. As always, y'all, make sure you like and follow and comment down below what you think.
What? What? And you got to be kidding me.
Now, that's what they saying if the person or baby develops a 6-toe or 6-finger, which there are people in recorded history of being born with 6 toes and 6 fingers. They're saying that that might be the giant's DNA. I don't know about that because science says something different, but that is a weird phenomenon. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below.
I really just don't think you guys are ready for what I'm about to tell you. You need to have an open mind if you're going to understand that almost everything bad and evil in modern day society is from the fallen angels. In part 1, I told you guys a couple things that the Watchers taught humanity in the times of Noah. So let's get into part 2 and dive a little deeper into just how much heavenly knowledge they shared with us against God's will. Did y'all know that earth signs, moon signs, fire signs, all of that astrology comes from the fallen angels? For example, the fallen angel Araquiel taught humans the signs of the earth, later morphing into earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, all of that comes from Araquiel. Araquiel taught humans to practice geomancy, which is a practice that involves divining the meanings of geographical features. It can also be called feng shui, earth divinations that uses compasses and charms to coordinate interactions between people. Another fallen angel, Shazaquiel, taught us meteorology. That angel's name translates to the shooting star of God. Another angel called Sariel taught humans the courses of the moon and how to measure time through it and attempt to predict the future. Penemu, another fallen angel, taught humans how to use ink and paper. Notice the name, Penemu. And what do we write with? Pencil. Pens. This, y'all, everything is connected. Spelling, spells, cursive, curses. Come on, guys, stay woke. And something that you can see a lot today is that whole divine feminine thing. That came from the Watchers as well. Remember that they procreated with mortal women. Now, these angelic beings lusted for these women, but the women, they lusted for something different. Power. They wanted to know how to use their God-given abilities, such as the ability to give birth, in a way that will bring them power and dominion on earth. So their angelic partners taught them ways of divination, which included using their menstrual cycle, if you know what I mean, to do paganistic ritual. And this is also where sacrificing, little ones came from. Not only that, I'm gonna blow y'all minds right now. They taught them how to use sorcery, charms, and spells, not only with words but with music. Now, if you watch my other videos, y'all know what happened to the mortal women after the great flood of Noah. If you haven't seen my videos, I'm gonna break it down for you. God cursed these women to roam the seas as sirens, aka mermaids. And just in case y'all didn't know, mermaids are not cute and pretty like Ariel, they're evil. So anyway, these sirens are part of the demonic marine kingdom that is cursed to be without dwelling until their time of judgment. Now, what was the thing that they learned from their angelic partners? Sorcery with music. What do sirens do to lure people into the water to unalive them? They sing songs that put you in a trance. Oh my gosh, did I just blow your mind?
I'm smiling, but it ain't funny. I'm smiling, but it ain't funny.
It's an awesome book. It's littered with sex, lies, murder, deceit, betrayal. It's called the Bible. Pick it up and read it. What she's referencing is the book of Enoch. Y'all let me know if y'all want me to do a deep dive in the book of Enoch. I got a lot of videos on that in the previous. Y'all should go check that out. But read up on your Bible, guys.
Meet Kendrick Lamar. He's from a city called Compton. This is their city hall as seen in the video. Wait, I thought he was from Los Angeles. Well, Compton is part of the greater Los Angeles area, so he still says he's from Los Angeles, which is why this clown appears in Kendrick Lamar's video. He's a Los Angeles legend named Tommy the Clown who keeps kids off the streets through dance. He also invented a popular dance called crumping. Kinda. This is his dance crew. They're wearing red, white, and blue to symbolize America versus Canada, but also to symbolize these two groups of individuals that didn't like each other for a very long time. Hey, you know who else was part of this group? Kendrick Lamar. Just kidding, kinda. Listen closely. Don't make the same mistake as Drake. Rapper YG, as Drake said, grew up as a full member of the Red Group, but see, Kendrick Lamar grew up as an affiliate of the Red Group, meaning that he grew up on a certain block as to where all his friends loved that color red and his family members loved that color red, meaning that the red people will always have Kendrick's back. So when Drake tried to put them against each other, it showed how clueless he was about Los Angeles and street culture really, so YG had to correct him by showing up in all of Kendrick Lamar's concerts and videos. Like this guy, DJ Mustard, who made the beat for Not Like Us. He's also from Compton, but get back on track, we're talking about Kendrick. Just kidding, we're talking about Steve Lacy, also from Compton. That's why he performed at Kendrick's concert. Tyler, the Creator's from a neighborhood like right next to Compton. That's why he performed. Russell Westbrook's from the same neighborhood as Tyler, the Creator, which is why he hopped on stage and LeBron James didn't, because LeBron James understood this is a Los Angeles thing. Also why DeMar DeRozan hopped on stage. A for sure Hall of Famer basketball player who grew up in Compton, played for a little bit in Toronto, Canada, where Drake's from, but came back home to Compton. Which brings us to Dave Free. I don't know if this is the same reference, but it looks good. Also Compton native, Kendrick Lamar's childhood friend. Drake tried to put them against each other, but they're like, nah, we good. Which is also why he brought his family, saying, nah, we good. They just don't like the spotlight. Which is also why she's wearing this shirt, because Drake accused Kendrick of doing something to her. If you don't know what this shirt is called, look it up in the comments. Drake essentially lied about everything, but what you need to understand is Drake and Kendrick are from two very different places. Drake also said, hey, your label probably hates you. Kendrick said, no, they don't. They're right here. But why Drake said that is because usually in the music industry, if you leave your label, something bad probably happened. It was a fair guess. But what Kendrick is trying to say, and what has been trying to say, it's not always about the fame, it's not always about the money. This whole thing is not even about Drake. It's about hip-hop, which is the black community, especially your community, which is why Tyler and them came back home to perform with them. Which is that Roddy Ricch? Which is why old hip-hop videos would always bring the neighborhood out. Always drove around the city. Always got food at that neighborhood spot that everyone loved. This is what Pusha T was trying to tell you guys with this picture, and this is why Princess can't join the Powerpuff Girls. You can't buy your way in, you can't fight with all the members, and you can't just say you're a Powerpuff Girl. There's a little more to it. And this is why your favorite rapper is Kendrick Lamar, because although he could have spent his whole career making hits, he decided to make music to uplift his community. But they still bangers though.
Wow, man. Damn. I voted for Trump.
You're a victim.
I regret my vote.
Tell y'all a true story, be so boom, watch this video to the end. Could this be a giant? This video is for entertainment purposes only. Let's go.
Danger, do not go beyond this point.
What?
Oh, look, there's somebody out there with a face.
What the?
They're sleeping in the water. Look
Shut
at
up!
the nose. See? The nose, the mouth, the eyes. He went beyond this point. He's not in danger. He's in the water.
I knew it!
Water!
Shut up! Did you see that? Looks like a face to me. Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know what that guy's talking about. He's exaggerating. That just happened to be a rock that was shaped as a face. Shut up! But what if it's keeping its head above water so it could breathe? Don't you say it. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game out here, guys, and I'm just playing around because that's impossible. You think it's a game? The A's on the W. Didn't I tell you that a long time ago? Remember that video I showed you with the big giant foot right by the water? Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game out here, guys, and you know what time is it. I'm pretty sure if they exist, meanwhile, they don't exist, but they will come out at night when nobody's around. Because let's not forget, that ocean is big enough to carry. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game out here, guys, and you better stay out of that water. I don't care if you're on a boat. I don't care if you're scuba diving. I don't care if you're on a canoe. Get out of the ocean. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game out here, guys, and I told you already. I'm not going to tell you again. But I'll tell you one thing. If I'm ever out there and I see a rock, a big rock, shaped out the face, I'm not even going to go there anymore. I'm out. Bye!
Okay. Stop playing with me, son. Nah, for real. Y'all think giants are real? Check out this next clip.
People are freaking out after finding out these people have lived underwater for 1,000 years. These people, known as the Bajau people, live in the Philippines and across Southeast Asia. They have evolved in the most crazy way and literally live underwater. Over the past 1,000 years, yes, 1,000, these people have lived in these makeshift houses on the water, just in the middle of the sea. They spend their days on the water, in the water, hunting, just living a very simple life. Now, they also get the name the sea nomads because of the way they've evolved. So these people, as you can see in the photo right here, do not have to wear goggles or anything to go under the water. They have evolved. Their eyesight has evolved, meaning they can see underwater crystal clear like we would with a mask on. But they can also hold their breath for an extremely long time, reportedly up to 5 to 10 minutes, which, I don't know. And a lot of them also purposely burst their eardrums so that they can deal with the pressure when diving to deeper depths. The people may have developed, but their way of living hasn't really changed at all since 1,000 years ago.
What? What the fuck?
Nah, real talk. I went to school, elementary school, with a girl who had webbed feet. All of her toes were connected in between. That was pretty weird, but I thought she was cool. Now, we done got giant DNA leads to 6 fingers or 6 toes, and we got mermaids that come from the Bible, and we have people that actually have adapted to water. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments below.
We now actually know what happens when we die. In some of the biggest news of the century, we've now got evidence suggesting that your life carries on after you die, and it gets a lot crazier than that. Make sure you share this video with your friends and family because you don't want to miss this. So an old woman was passing away, and as she died, they had her hooked up to a machine which was monitoring her brain. Now, what scientists got from these scans after she passed away was these photos, which don't look like much right now. But what these show is that a part of the brain, specifically the part of the brain that processes memories and experiences, was still active after death for around 8 minutes. And this is crazy because years ago I made a video saying about the 8 minutes after death and how your brain is still active. They did tests before on a man who died and found similar things, but nothing as concrete as this. As I say, from these scans, it showed that the brain was still active for around 8 minutes after this woman passed away. And specifically that she was processing memories, i.e. her life, flashing before her eyes, the common term you've probably heard. So this suggests that when you pass away, your life does flash before your eyes, you get memory flashbacks and maybe relive parts of your life. It also links into the theory I've spoken about before and many people have said. Think about when you have a dream. Sometimes dreams can feel really real and time's different, time dilation of course. Sometimes you'll have a dream, it feels like an hour but you wake up and it's been about 2 minutes. Well, the same might be happening in this 8 minutes after death. Reliving memories, what feels like days, weeks, but is only in the 8 minutes. Or maybe even like a lucid dream. creating some sort of new reality. So what's to say you're not dead right now in that 8 minutes, and this is all just a figment of your imagination?
Boy, if you don't get
is what they got locked away in the forbidden secret archives. Something that took 12 world-renowned scientists to successfully record back in the 1950s, who are said to have been part of a classified project that created a device that can look into our past, which all came out in a book called The New Mystery of the Vatican, written in 2002 by Francois Brune, a priest who worked very closely with the Vatican, who was told by his colleague, Father Pellegrino Ernetti, a priest, monk, and exorcist, who was also a scientist, engineer, and lifelong scholar. Quite the decorated man, and a well-educated guy too, like he definitely wasn't a crackpot or anything. While the two were discussing interpretations of the Bible in the 60s, Ernetti claimed that he had seen exactly what happened in the book with his own eyes. Just a decade earlier, he was working on a project deciphering old Gregorian chants from tape recordings, when he seemingly heard the voice of the head priest's deceased father talking through the recorder, like they tapped into a conversation he had decades ago when he was still alive. Captivated by the idea of capturing sounds from the past, Ernetti got together a group of scientists to work on a new project commissioned by the head priest, among whom was rumored to be Enrico Fermi, the father of the Fermi paradox and the creator of the world's first nuclear reactor, and Werner von Braun, a German aerospace engineer poached by the US who ended up as a key director during the foundation of NASA. Once again, quite well-educated individuals. Together, they worked on a machine called the chronovisor, capable of harnessing electromagnetic sound and light waves emitted from the past, and convert those signals into pictures and audio on a cathode ray monitor that allowed us to view the past on a TV screen. According to this work, light and sound continue to exist as residual energy long after the events that produce those lights and sounds have happened. And if we can somehow capture those waves and rearrange them in the sequence that they happened in, we can literally watch the past. Sounds impossible, right? Well, you actually kind of have your own version of a chronovisor at home that you use every single day. A mirror. When you look into a mirror, you're not actually seeing yourself as you are, but as you were fractions of a millisecond ago, due to the time it takes for the light to bounce off the mirror and into your eyes. When you look at the night sky, it's the same thing. The amount of time it takes for the light emitted by the stars to reach us on Earth means we're looking at them as they were hundreds of thousands, millions of years ago. We are seeing into the past. The chronovisor took this idea, but instead of distance, applied it to the fourth dimensional plane, observing light and sound emitted from a specific place and time. It used a series of special antennas to capture these waves and convert them to audio and video on a screen, a device that can view events from anywhere and any time in history on a TV monitor just by setting a date and location. Not exactly a time machine, but a time viewer, a project that Ernetti had been a part of since 1952. And he himself insisted to Francois Brune that he saw events like speeches by Napoleon and Mussolini, views of ancient Rome, even listened to famous unfinished plays by ancient Roman poets, only fragments of which existed at the time, and Ernetti wrote them out in full, which still exist today. But as religious scholars, what they were really interested in were biblical events like the final days of Jesus, the creation of the 10 Commandments and such. In the book, Ernetti is quoted as saying, "We saw everything, the agony in the garden, the betrayal of Judas, the trial, the crucifixion." But he knew people wouldn't believe him if he just told them about it, so he took pics. In the book, Brune shows the actual photos of Jesus' crucifixion and other historic events that Ernetti snuck photos of from the chronovisor. This one allegedly of Jesus getting crucified, and another one of him talking to his followers, which might actually just be low-resolution photos of this statue and that painting, questioning the legitimacy of these photos, but Brune insists the machine was real. One that could view any place from any point in time, including what you were doing in your room last night, all documented in Francois Brune's book, which even includes schematics of the device itself. Ernetti and his team presented the device to Pope Pius XII in the 50s, who immediately confiscated and dismantled it out of fear of getting into the wrong hands. Clearly, being able to spy on anyone who said anything at any time could be catastrophic if it got out. In 1972, an article even wrote about this device in an Italian magazine called La Domenica del Corriere, which for the record was a real magazine and not a satire paper, with the headline, "A machine that photographs the past has finally been invented," leading some to believe that the chronovisor wasn't destroyed, but was still being used by the church to control the masses. Stashed away deep in the Vatican archives, which not only do you need very special permission to access, but is also protected by armed guards and state-of-the-art security 24/7. Clearly all they have is a bunch of old writings down there, right? Then in 1988, the Vatican strangely passed a decree saying that anyone caught using such a device like the chronovisor would be excommunicated. Kind of a weird thing to say about a machine that was totally fake and just a rumor. Up until Ernetti passed away in 1994, he swore the chronovisor was real. Same with Brun, who along with his books about it also heavily wrote about quantum physics, which could potentially provide further explanations for such technology, until he passed more recently in 2019. Two highly respected, religious, and well-educated men that both insisted on the existence of a device that can peek into time, and that it actually hasn't been decommissioned, but rather hidden from the public and is still in use to this day.
Yeah, I feel the same way. You can go check the patent out. Go look it up. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. That's the episode, crew. Thanks for chilling to the end. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the content. And remember, keep God first, respect yourself, and remember to forgive. And I'll see you in the next vid. Quik